Adakuldas magagaw kanak, sen man sa mulig kanay, hora day magkapanghulo, huluan, hora day og kasumbungan, no alan ha problema day. Yan manggid ko sinota ngagaw manubog taday agapan hahilingan.
Bai Caraguay is a Luman princess of a local tribe in Bukidnon, in the island of Mindanao in the Philippines. Unlike the popular notion of princesses, however, she has neither palace nor wealth. In fact, Bai does not even own a piece of land.
Anak nila nga itanong ko naman gani ng saging, grabe naman sa kista nang ipalit ko ra batog asin. Bastos bagi kaidaan nga tao oy.
Bai looks for the bananas that have just been harvested. They'd sell the fruits to buy salt.
Bastos. Giurot ang taong ibayad ko betog palit ko man gani ta taong tug bugas na.
But she does not find them. Could they have been stolen? Her mind goes in a whirl. It is a tragedy that surely means hunger for her family in the coming days. These days, banana and salt are her family's staple food. It is extremely rare to have rice on the table. Having been deprived of their right to their ancestral domain, the whole community has been impoverished 100-fold. Today, they live along the fringes of their land that is now being claimed by a big pineapple plantation. Even so, the threat of eviction has become a day-to-day reality. But Bai and her tribe continue to struggle for their rights.
Ug sa naminyo pod ko, ako naminyo kang Jaime nga irayan, ang iyang sweldo di gig paigo sa among kinahanglanon kada adlaw tungod kay gamay ra gid kaayo ang iyang inadlawan. Ang iyang inadlawan ana tag 150 ra. Unya nga among anak siyam ka nakabuk ang among gabuhion. Dili gyud paigo sa among pagkaon. Makakaon tod mi sa isa ka adlaw apan malugos pagyud na siya tungod sa among mga eskwela nga daghang kayo ang ipapalit. Gani di manggid gan ako tanan mapalit tungod kay di manggid ko makatimbang sa akong bana tungod sa pagantiman sa mga bata.
The plantation thrives on chemicals that put people's health at risk, and the natives know it. Not so, says the managers of the land that used to be the domain of Bai and her people. In 2005, they were proven right. The disaster wrought havoc on their lives.
Sa 20 sa Mayo, nagkuha ko sa mais, akong giurap, gipakaon ako ang akong anak, nga duha ka tuig kapin. Gipaspasan ako siya pagpakaon kay ingon manggid ang bata, ma gutom ma. Ako pa kaon ani kay unya na ta maglungag og saging kamuti sa hapon. Pagkahapon ko nga maglungag na sa kita og saging, lungag mig saging. Kuan ko mga bata, busog pa man kaayo ko ma, busog pa mi. Apan dias pag alas 8 na sa gabi nabati na ako nga laing gyud among gipambati kami tanan. Nagsugod kami suka kalibang niadtong panahon na. Aguroy ang mga bata na akong ingon na taon, tabang ma. Sakit gyud, di gyud makuan ang kasakit kay bisan man kami tanan magid mi naghigda, nagtapad na lang mi diha sa kuan kay di na mabakyaw ang pagbakod. Apan ignanak ko ingon ko dunay kuan trabahante sa paki nga nagduol sa amon unsa man mo nahilo man tingali mi kay tanan mang jud mi wa may milaing gikaon maisraman mo dayon katong panahon na nga naglakaw ang mga kauban kay mangita lagi og tambal apan ang akong anak wa gid na libre wa gid taon siya na libre kay siya manggigamay.
Bai and her clan originally lived between the rivers Tagabulo and Manigay in the province of Bukidnon, an ancestral domain of indigenous peoples. As an aftermath of the widespread land grabbing, they were repeatedly evicted from their homes. Due to mounting pressure by people's groups like the Kalumbay Lumad Organization and Amihan Northern Mindanao, the village chief made arrangements in their behalf. But now, with a new village chief, they are being required to pay 10,000 pesos, a price they could not afford. Bai could not tolerate the injustices committed against indigenous peoples. She linked up with their organizations and sought help from government offices. For doing so, Bai was tagged as a member of the New People's Army of the Communist Party of the Philippines. The story of Bai has become typical in the community and elsewhere. Indigenous peoples and peasants continue to lose home and livelihood to big multinational corporations that trample on people's rights in the name of development. In the whole of the northern Mindanao region, peasant families live engulfed by the dark cloud of eviction.
Taman ramo sa unang kabulan effective 2001. Kondisyon na siya pero status ko ang pinatubar. Dapat kung mayroon nang galingan na status ko gikan na sa CHED, dili sa ila sa lain partido. Okay, kaduha. Kana no new constructions of any.
At any given day, the land grabbers could succeed. Progressive groups call the land grabbing global, not only on account of its scale, but also because it is perpetuated by huge transnational agricultural companies, aided by no less than the government and traditional landlords.
Dikampuhan is an exercise of freedom of expression. It is outside
sa
the
Bill of
premises.
Rights siya.
Wala silang egress na block.
Wala.
Wala silang na-disturb. Unarmed yung mga tao. Mga laway lang at mga bakba lang nila ang ilahang kuan nila. Why were they violated? Why were they attacked? Unarmed civilians yan, inatake ng Chevron. Yung Chevron, paid yan ng taxes. Bakit inatake? That's a fundamental freedom yung pag-express. 3 decades na yan.
In Bukidnon alone, where farmers comprise about 85% of the total population of more than 1 million, the Bureau of Agriculture says that about 315,164, or 38% of 829,378 hectares of land, are alienable and disposable, meaning these are covered by land reform. Yet 3 out of 4 farmers remain landless. The glaring ratio speaks volumes about social justice, or the lack of it, in Bukidnon and the neighboring provinces. One explanation is that the province is home to 9 transnational corporations such as Del Monte and Dole. There are about 50 pineapple and banana plantations covering tens of thousands of hectares each. Big portions of the Bukidnon land are also planted to cash crops, jatropha, cut flowers, and others by an elite group of landowners. Traditional landlords control thousands of hectares of land, including some 356 of them who lay claim to 55,000 sugarcane plantations. 2 families control 23,042 hectares of land for cattle raising. women, who bear the economic brunt of the unjust property and power relations, endure the worst blows, being at the forefront of defense of every family's livelihood. Marilu 14's family is among the 800 peasant households of Paramag Bukidnon who are threatened by eviction, owing to a claim by the Central Mindanao University. The state university plans to lease their land to transnational corporations.
Hangyo kami sa kay Presidente Maria Luisa Sulibin nga padayunon kami sa pagtikad sa area. Kay kung hindi kami magtikad, unsa na lang pagpakaon naman sa among mga anak. Unsa na lang kung pagpeskwela naman sa among mga anak. Ay wala kami ilaing kasaligan nga pangitaan kana ra ang basakan.
But their peaceful protest is met by violence as the university security troops open fire on the farmers. 6 peasants are wounded.
Dire kami sa among tent, tapos nag-abot ang mga sikyo nga may armado. Pag-abot nila nga halin sa diri sa field, diretso sila lokso silang sakyanan. Dito na yung bunlot sa among trapal. Tapos sila kay among gimponggan, dito sila pabuto-buto. Gusto karon na igo naman gid ko diri sa dughan. Ako matras ko yun, igo naman ko. Tapos wala ko kabalo ko sa ang ilang ginbuhat.
Previously, farmers have been assaulted a number of times. No one was held liable. On July 30, 2010, for instance, the members of the Dangawan Landless Farmers Association were shot. In less than a week, on August 4, 2010, the protest camp of the Nakagawa Dulugon Farmers Association was likewise attacked by a truckload of gun-bearing men. Farmers lay wounded.
Kung akong una-unaon, mura dili na ako ma-imagine bitaw kung giunsa to namo pag sa gubang. Ang ako lang karon nga ipaabot nga katong bago pa nga murag labas pa nga mga harassment nga nahitabo nga diin daghan ang mga nabiktima tung ay 2009 nga diin naglunsad mi og kanang operasyon tikad. Kalit lang po na moabot ang mga security guard para mangharas. Nya ang ilang himuon na tanan mga himan sa mga mag-uuma ilag yun ang pangkuwaon. Nusa kami nagahiusa nga pag tan-aw namo nga moabot na ng mga security guard, ang tanang mga kababayan sila mo tapok mulingkod dito sa among tortol aron dili gyud makuha sa mga security guard. So ang gihimo sa mga security guard kay dili man sila pawa ilang pabuthan. Napatoy isa namo kakaubang babae nga buros nga na-appeal pod nga diha gyud sa iyang tubad gyud pabuto.
Fisherfolk families were not spared by the local landlords. In the morning of May 26, 2011, around 80 police officers escorted a demolition team to evict fisherfolk families in Kitatum, Misamis Oriental. The regional trial court issued a special order in favor of one Velasco family.
Sige! Pagkatawan na mo! Kamu malalawan! Pagkatawan na mo! Kay guba na balay doon sa plan! Bye-bye!
Who claims to own the land where the fisherfolk families lived. The municipal board opted to side with the family through Resolution Number 20, 2009, allowing the commercial development of the disputed land. Without any offer of relocation, the fisherfolk families resisted the demolition. They were arrested and charged in court. Among them was Adoracion Orais.
Magadimulis amo. Nawagi minahimo. Kay sige magilang itulod-tulod nila ang kananang nagdilatid na mong ina nga pisi. Di sila kasunod. Gisunod gila mo tong gipamunalan ang ako mga sakop. Ako nga balo-balo gilabay lang ko tong among balay nga gigubak. Gibudalan akong likod. Nya hasta kong utubang. Nya kato akong bata nga isa nabunog na yung dinaan niyo. Mga bagas niya yun, mga bukton gihabunan sa mga pulis. O kanang kuan. Katong among pag-umang ko dad. Nagkadugo na yung ulo kay gibagbunanan man. Namo rin tong gidakop din ko. Gidakop mi sa akong asa to kong pares, gidakop mi pasakay itong patrol car. Maniguro sila kay aron dili ko no may makalaban sa ilang pagabuhaton. Namutong wala na makakuan sa among balay kato na nakapatoyang gi sila pagpangguba sa among balay.
Today, Adoracion lives in a makeshift shelter where their house used to be. Determined to continue the struggle, her family has decided to stay put in the community.
Mga kamag-anak na nawalan ng anak at asawa at kapatid. Patuloy na walang kasagutan sa maraming mga bilang ng mga nawawala.
Justice remains elusive for women like Sichi Bustamante Gandinao, a member of Nagkamamo Misamis Oriental Farmers Association and Bayan Muna Party List, who was killed on March 10, 2007. She was a witness in the murder of another peasant, Dalmacio Gandinao, by state security forces on February 8, 2007. Sichi was among those who were interviewed by United Nations Special Rapporteur on Extrajudicial, Summary or Arbitrary Executions Philip Alston, who came to the Philippines on a fact-finding mission about human rights violations in the country. Overwhelmed by the culture of impunity and the state of the justice system in the country, her family chose not to file a criminal case. The impunity, however, permeates the rest of their existence.
Kita nga mga babae, ala, makipagbiso kita sa yuta nga atong ginawiyatan karon nga atong ginatikan.
Meanwhile, peasant families all over the country are daily threatened with eviction. Courtesy of President Benigno Aquino's program of public-private partnership, land grabbing is seen to intensify.
Ganon ni Kuyog man ka sa lakbayan.
Para magpabot ang among mga luwag sa pang-gobyerno nga unta tubagona, subagon ang among mga problema kabahin sa yuta.
Consequently, an increasing number of women are preparing to do battle, determined to fight for their rights.
Ilugang kami sa among yuta, wa na mi kapuyan, wa mi kabalayan, wa mi katamnan o kapangabuhian kay gihimong pastuhan o plantasyon sa Pinyahan.
During the Peasants' March last October, Bai expressed hope that their struggle would somehow come to the attention of the Philippine government and be included in the national discourse about development. Barring this, and until genuine agrarian reform shall have been implemented and justice served to all the victims of human rights violations, more women like Bai, Marilu, Dolores, and Adoracion would keep up the good and just fight.
Pagpanday sa kaugmaon, musilat hanggang doon, salamat yung kahabagatan, ipagulong, pagpadayon, pagpanday sa kaugmaon, musilat hanggang doon, salamat yung kahabagatan. lang a few